Right, Temps. Well, just spoke to MMA and she said you've basically got into their minds. They've been playing knockout football since the Perth game.
Yep.
Beat Perth, lost to Sydney, but the win over Adelaide on Wednesday, just to recap that briefly, how much confidence did that give the team as you go to your next knockout game?
Yeah, I think it was great, like to get 4 goals, clean sheet, and to play well with control and kind of dominance in a lot of the part of the game was really good, and I think that stuff does breed confidence. So yeah, any team that you play against, in this league is tough competition. I thought Adelaide, still did some really good things in the game. I think he's doing a good job and their style was very evident. Like they always stick to the style, which I think is pretty commendable. So it looks easy when you look at the final result, but it wasn't as easy as that, and maybe 4 potentially was a bit hard on them in terms of the part they played. But what was good from our perspective is we were pretty clinical with those chances. And that's not always been the case this season. So I think that's a good step forward for us as a team in terms of what we can create and how we finish them off. So that gives confidence for us going into Sunday.
How do you expect Canberra to play?
I think very similar to Adelaide. They kind of have this nothing to lose kind of mentality. But we know, because we played them not too long ago, they're dangerous. They've got Flannery and Heyman and Milivojevic, who have been consistently good in terms of assists and goals this season. So from an attacking point of view, I think they've scored the same amount of goals as us. And so it shows what a threat they're going to be. And when that kind of attacking threat is let loose and essentially you can just go out and play, there's a danger to that you have to be very aware of. So even though they're sitting at the moment at the bottom of the table, they're a very capable team of kind of beating anybody. And so I think we need to be aware of those things like we were against Adelaide. And I think the first goal and then kind of how you kick on from there is so important in terms of the management of the match. So yeah, we'll obviously be trying to start well and try and get on top early. But we know that they've got some big players and some dangers that we have to be aware of for sure.
Just on that, have you thought about strategies for, on Wednesday night, got the early goal, it kind of almost, eased the pressure, presumably a little bit. Have you thought about what happens if you get to the hour mark, it's still 0-0? What sort of strategies do you employ in that situation, for example?
Yeah, launch it. No, we, of course, we've got different plans for the game, and I guess that's always in our thinking when we're picking particularly the players that firstly okay, this is the starting 11, and then who's going to come off the bench, who's going to be that impact. I spoke a bit about over the last few games, Macy had the impact against Perth, and then Isabel came on and had the impact against Sydney, and Mickey Robertson did it on Wednesday night. And so having players that are basically more finishers than subs, you're going to come on and finish the game for us and give us what we need in that moment. There's a skill to that, and there's a ability to be able to do that well. And I think we had that at the start of the season, and then we kind of had the middle part of the season where maybe the results weren't as good. We didn't have the same kind of impact off the bench, and so recently we've had that, and it's really taken our team performances to a different level, because you need that in football. You need your squad, and I'm blessed. I've got a good squad here. We've got players banging on the door to get in the squad, and when they're on the bench and they can come off and have the impact that they do like that. And then we've still got a bunch of players that are not in the squad that are also contributing so much in training and pushing the squad and pushing the team, making my life hard and kind of having to make these tough decisions and leave people out. That's a good thing for a coach overall, although it's not the nicest part of the job. It's good for the team overall. So yeah, I think particularly since the Perth game, our impact off the bench has been fantastic. So we need that again on the weekend.
You withdrew Mariana Speckmeyer slightly early the other night. Is she okay to play on Sunday?
Yeah, she's okay. Yeah, the medical team was sort of a little worried. Obviously, she's kind of had a hamstring injury going a few weeks back. Did her return to play and we built her slowly up to 90 minutes, and they just didn't want her doing 3 in a week because of the potential reoccurrence of soreness and that leading to something else. So yeah, management of her really. Obviously, she's our top goal scorer, so she's been important to us. And I think it's good for the squads. In an ideal world, I sort of would have liked to have been 3-0 up and take her off, but you have to have that trust in what you've got on the bench, and Mickey was fantastic. She sort of come on and contributed to creating 2 goals, scored one herself. So it's like the perfect scenario really for a coach. So that was awesome to see. But yeah, she's good, and we just got to kind of. She's still a little bit sore today, like just with the amount of minutes she's played after coming back. So we just manage her for the next few days. She should be good to go Sunday.
All right, and your game is on Sunday. Saturday night there are a couple of games which will quite possibly, in fact almost certainly, impact your table position. What's the plan for watching Melbourne Victory Newcastle and Western United Western Sydney on Saturday in your hotel room in Canberra? What are you going to do?
I don't know. I think we'll sort of have a chat about that. We've got a 3-hour bus trip this afternoon from Sydney to Canberra, so we'll have plenty of time to talk about what we do. Maybe we'll watch it as a team and all suffer together, watching it for 90 minutes through your hands. But or maybe we'll go and play golf or go bowling or something and look at the score later. I don't know. It's one of those things when something's out of your hands. It's horrible to kind of be watching because. But look, it is what it is. I think everyone's got their own different motivations. Obviously, Victory and Western are still in the title race. Jets and Wanderers want to get into the 6. So, I mean, there's so much riding on these games. And I think, like, the quality of the teams, they can go either way. So, it's out of our control. We're just going to have to deal with the brutality of watching it and waiting for the result to come through. And hopefully, they go in our favour and we can go into Sunday with still something to play for. And that will obviously give us huge motivation for the game.
And just on that as well, if everything goes your way and you get the result, we'll get the result you want Saturday night, you get the result on Sunday, how big does that make next Saturday, Easter Saturday, against Western Sydney? And basically a shootout for sixth place.
Well, I think it would be amazing for the league and amazing for our fans in Wellington. We don't get many playoff games in Wellington, and essentially this is the playoff game, isn't it? Like, it's the shootout to get into the playoffs if that's the scenario that occurs. So it would be an amazing occasion, and I think everyone would love that to be happening. But look, there's still like quite a lot of water under the bridge to go yet. So yeah, let's see what happens Saturday, see what happens Sunday, and then hopefully next week we can have another conversation about that game.